What's up? Hey, hi, it's me again. Welcome back to my channel, Assassins. As you can see, I'm not filming this video in my bedroom. I'm currently isolating up at my cabin and the sun is shining and I am in a great mood. Last week I talked about how I was discovered as a model and what that process looked like for me, and if you guys haven't seen that video, feel free to check it out here. Today I'm going to be talking about what that process can look like for you while still social distancing. Since everything is remote these days, it's super easy to promote yourself as a model. All it takes is doing some research on some agencies you would like to be a part of, snapping some digitals, taking your measurements, and pressing upload. Let's start with research. There is a lot to consider when you're first looking for an agency. I would say one of the top things that I looked at was location. So I started out with an agency in Chicago first, but it was hard to drive down to Chicago all the time. And a lot of the times, like when you sign with an agency in Chicago, LA, New York, Miami, any of those locations, I would say the majority of your jobs are going to be in those locations or closer to those locations than wherever you may be located for your home address. What the different markets are is there's New York, that's a lot more high fashion, editorials, runway. You have New York Fashion Week, of course. Then there's Miami, which is swim week. It's a lot of swimsuits down there. Chicago, which is where I am. It's a little bit of everything, but on a smaller scale. So you have commercial modeling, runway, editorials, just like I said, on a smaller scale. And LA is a lot more like commercial, doing campaigns, a lot more photography versus runway. Something else you're going to want to consider is if you want a big or a small agency. There's ups and downsides to both. Small agency, you may get more one-on-one contact with your agent, so you really get to have that personal connection, which I would say helps the agent promote you as a model because they know more about you. A big agency, you might not get that same type of close-knit relationship. However, they may have bigger clients, and if you happen to have the right look for that specific job, if you book it once, that's going to be a lot of recognition for you that you can use for your portfolio versus some smaller agencies might not have those huge clients. That's not to say that with my agency, like I still booked jobs and went to casting calls for Nike, Lands' End, Von Maur, AT&T. So there were a lot of like big name opportunities for me to go to, and I got some of those and other ones I didn't. Really depends on your experience level. I would say it took me probably 3 years to build a good portfolio in order to start booking jobs like that. Another consideration could be whether or not you're going to act or not. I was never interested in acting. As much as I love being in front of the camera, I get so embarrassed when doing that kind of stuff, so I decided not to do that. Which is funny because I'm currently doing a YouTube right now, but I don't see this as embarrassing. But for acting, like you see all those videos of like superheroes going like, and without the special effects, man, does it look crazy. And I would just die laughing every single time. But if you are professional enough to do acting, all the props to you. And that's definitely something to think about when you're finding an agency. So once you find a few agencies that you really think that you would be a good match for, follow them on social media. That is a great way to see even more so what they are about, who they promote, and once you find out who they promote, reach out to them if you can. See if you get a response. Ask them what it's like to be at that agency. Is there a lot of opportunities? Has it been slow, busy? What types of jobs they get, what types of clients they have. Questions like those, and that will help you get a really good feel from a third-party source, so it's not as biased as what an agency is, because if an agency really likes you, they're going to want you regardless. So you might get some bias, like, oh, we're the best agency for you, like, don't worry about any of them, we're going to get you so many jobs, you're so beautiful, you have such the right look. But that's not always the case, because like if you and your agent don't get along and you don't have that relationship that I find very important, I would say it's a lot more difficult to want to go on jobs. I think research is really, really important. Like I said, you are entering into a partnership and you don't want to get in bed with someone that is not going to work out. It's pretty much like a relationship, but for business. It's two-sided. Both parties are involved and it has to work for both of them in order for it to be a good match. And that is how you're going to have like the most successful relationship with your agent and probably get more opportunities. because honestly, if your agent and you do not get along, they might not want to promote you. Even if they think that you will be really good for the job, they have some bias against you. So to an agent, it doesn't matter who gets the job, because as long as it's one of their talent, they're gonna get the percentage from that job no matter what. Once you find a few agencies that you like and that you want to apply for them, there's no in-between step. It's just time for you to apply to them. Most of the applications across all modeling agencies and talent agencies are pretty similar. They're gonna ask for like your basic personal information, like your name, hair color, eye color, shoe size. They will also ask for more in-depth measurements, including your bust, waist, hips, and all of these measurements you can find online. Just Google like modeling measurements and it will tell you where the appropriate spots are to measure. So here in this picture, you can see that the bust, you measure the fullest part, waist, you measure the smallest, and hips, you measure the largest. The last thing that the application process is going to call for are digitals, which are just photographs of you. I call them like my mugshots because they're very straightforward photographs. And today I'll show you guys how to do those. It's super easy. The first thing you are going to want to do is you will want to be as natural as possible. So all I have on my face right now is moisturizer and a little bit of mascara. You can do specific spot checking, so like if you have blemishes, which I do have one on my nose right here, but I chose not to cover that up. But you can do that, that's acceptable, but you do want to look as natural as possible. My hair, I have not straightened it. This is just like my natural hair. So be as natural as possible. And something else to look out for is some agencies for the application may ask for your hair to be pulled back in photographs. So just make sure you listen to whatever they are asking for. Once you are ready to start taking your photos, opt for a black bikini and a plain background. Since I'm at my cabin, I don't have a plain background, so I use the lake. As you can see, I'm just going through the motion of taking the photos. Once you do it a few times, it comes pretty natural, but you'll want to make sure to get both of your sides, a front and a back view. You'll take full-length photos, close-up photos, and three-quarter photos. It would also be smart to film a movement video. What a movement video does is it is another video to promote yourself and how you move in front of the camera. So if a client asks your agency once you get signed, they are able to send this video and they have an expectation for how you move in front of the camera. It's also a great way to learn what looks good for you. So like there are obviously different poses that will make your body look better than others, and so it's good to know those, as well as facials are very important. I highly recommend filming one of these videos just so you can get comfortable with yourself, because it's a lot more intimidating when someone else is filming it. These are a little bit older digitals that I have taken, and I always save them with my first and last name before I upload them to any application. Once you have taken your digitals and you did your research on what agency you would like to apply for, you can go to their website. So this one is Women Management, and here I'm just looking for where they have become a model or become talent. So for them, it's at the bottom of the screen. You can click on that and it will take you to the application screen. And then here, like I said before, it asks a lot of your basic information. So all you have to do is fill this in and then upload your photographs. And once you do that, you are all set and can hit submit. After you hit submit, all you can do is wait for their response. Keep in mind it can take a while to get a response. They may ask to see more of you. As always, if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. And if you liked this video and found it useful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys next Monday. Is that recording? Big or small agency? My neighbor just started mowing his lawn. And it just takes a few quipple. Shit. Been subscribed.